It's Mike, and I get emails from people, sharing their personal stories with me and their personal experiences and stuff like that. And what I want to do is I want to do a video really quick sharing a personal story with you. Okay, I started USF 1996, University of South Florida, located over here in Tampa. Moved up here to Tampa from Fort Lauderdale 2 weeks out of high school, okay? 1996, USF didn't have a football team. They were still putting it together. I actually went to the walk-on tryouts just to meet the secondary coach. His name was Andre Waters, who was like one of my role models when I was in high school, one of my idols. But a whole summer of sleeping in, not exercising, drinking beer, and eating pizza didn't last very long in the walk-on tryouts, but it was still fun. But they started the team in 1997. USF's first ever team. Football team, and I was friends with a lot of the players that were there. I lived over in Fontana Hall. I was friends with a ton of players that were over there, and 1997 was our first ever game, and I knew that it was something good was going to come out of it. I mean, just how the community got behind it, how the students got behind it. I remember being able to I could drive 5 minutes away from the campus and go to Walmart, and you couldn't even find USF stuff there. They were selling stuff out of like a trailer. Was their bookstore and apparel store. Okay, it was like no school spirit there at all. And I love the university. I loved everything about it. I tell people all the time, I would trade all 4 years of high school. All 4 years of high school. I'm talking all the proms and homecomings, and I played football and baseball and basketball and tennis and everything else that I did there. I would trade all 4 years of high school in a heartbeat for 10 more minutes over at USF. I had such a blast there. Graduated there in 2001 with 2 degrees. And it was just an amazing, amazing college. But throughout the years, USF's gotten better and better and better every single year. And I've had season ticket. I bought season tickets when I was still a student, just because I wanted to make sure I sat in the spot that I wanted to. I love sitting right in the end zone, almost right underneath the end zone, right underneath the goalpost, right up there near the front. And so I've been a season ticket holder for years, but something happened last week on Thursday, which was awesome. I've saved all of this stuff to wait for a good opportunity to get the coach, Jim Leavitt, to sign this stuff. This right here is the program that I bought from the first ever USF football game. And don't ask me how I got this home in one piece. I still don't know how I got this home. Okay, classes ended on Thursday at like 2 o'clock, and the party started. Okay, we went from Thursday at 2 o'clock all through Thursday night, all day Friday, all night Friday, Saturday morning, tailgating all the way up to the party. And by the time we actually got to the game, we were just absolutely detonated. Me and about 500 other people from the dorms and everything. So I don't know how I got this home in one piece, but I managed to do it. I wrapped this thing up in like 3 garbage bags, tucked it into my belt loop to make sure that I got this thing home in one piece, and I managed to pull it off. I also saved at the time the inaugural season, the schedule that they had, and also the ticket stub. That was my ticket stub at the first ever USF football game. And the other day on Thursday, there was a dinner with Coach Leavitt over at the Temple Terrace Golf and Country Club, and I got to finally meet him again. I met him a couple times as I was a student, but I finally got to meet him again with my wife Jennifer, and he signed the program. This was the shirt that I was also wearing at the first ever USF football game. So this shirt is 12 years old. I still love it. It fits great. He signed the shirt right there, signed the program, signed the ticket stub, signed the schedule. The only thing he didn't bring, and this does not leave my house. This is probably, if there was one thing I would go into a burning building for, besides obviously to save my wife and my future kids, if there was one thing I would dive into a burning building for, is this. This right here is a football that was used in the first ever USF football game. This football was given to me by Ryan Benjamin, who was number 53. I bought it off of him for about half my student loan check. And I gave him like $400 to get this thing. I wanted one of these footballs so bad. And Ryan Benjamin got this for me. And coincidentally, Ryan Benjamin, number 53, also was the long snapper for the Tampa Bay Bucks when they won their Super Bowl. But Ryan Benjamin was my boy. I was good friends with his roommate. His roommate's name was Pat. And I got this football at about 3:30 in the morning after the first ever USF football game. And I take this out of the case every now and then. And you can see it's got the original USF emblem on it. But, I would love to have Leavitt sign this, but you know what? This just doesn't ever leave my house. Take it out about once a year, and lube it and clean it up and moisturize it and check the pressure on it and stuff like that. And then other than that, it goes right back into the case again. But these are definitely some cool things. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put up some pictures of me talking to Coach Leavitt, and afterwards he even had a question and answer when he was up there at the podium, and I got to ask a question, which was really cool. But this is probably one of the coolest things I've done in a really long time, and I really owe Krista Evelyn a big one for letting me come to this dinner, because it was only for club members, and I showed up there with a suitcase full of stuff for him to sign, and caught him at the right time where he was able to sign it. But I wanted to share this with you because this was just so cool, and I tell you what, it just absolutely made my week last week. Finally, after all these years, getting all of this stuff autographed. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back into the frame, and I'm going to put on the video of me talking to Coach Leavitt and asking the question, the picture with me and Jen and Coach Leavitt and everything like that. It was awesome. So thanks for watching.
Last question.
Coach Leavitt, I graduated from the University of South Florida in 2001, and I always tell people how wonderful of a school it was. Now, as a student, as an alumni, I know what I can recommend about the school. As a coach and as a recruiter, what are some of the things that you folks zero in on, and what are some of the things about University of South Florida that helps these kids come and commit?
Well, it's a great university. It's certainly fun. We really work on the university itself. We're in a great location. Tampa, I was in, I've been everywhere. I was in Kauai, and I took 1 week of vacation last year, first time. So my wife says, "You're going to go this year again." And I said, how? I'm going to leave. No, you're going to go. So we went there, 14 hours all the way out there, and it's nice, got palm trees and water and the whole deal. I want to get back. My point in this is that we live in paradise. I mean, Gainesville's a nice town. This is one of the greatest states that has most recruits in Florida. 85, 90 players out of 105 are from Florida. We have a chance to stay home, be a part of history, to have a chance to play maybe sooner than some of these other schools, to play in Raymond James Stadium, to be a part of a great university, to be a cornerstone on something that will never happen again, and be a great story is pretty powerful. And also, I hit that pretty hard. Stability of our coaches, certainly. That's big. Do you know the top 25 schools, the last 4 years, there's only like 4 or 5 coaches, head coaches are even there anymore? So most time when players get recruited, that coach ain't going to be at the school their whole career. So they like this coach, well, good. You're probably going to be there. You better. So I really start talking about that. The stability has been real important, because you don't want to go through a change, which is happening to most schools every year. So there's some things. Believe me, I could recruit you for a little bit.